Hi, everybody. Welcome to our fourth session of Support for the Caregiver series. And I hope that everybody has been able to get out and enjoy a little bit of the weather. It's certainly lovely to have some of the restrictions lifted. We can get out to the parks, we can get out to the beaches, and I hope that you've had a little bit of relief with some of that. So today I have done another PowerPoint. You can expect one with every video. So I'm just going to start sharing the screen, so just bear with me for 1 second. So in this session, we're going to talk a little bit about some strategies to assist you with maintaining some healthy relationships. And there are 5 habits, and I've outlined them individually here on this PowerPoint, but there is the resource at the bottom here, brainline.org, and they have some really great resources for you as well. I don't know if you've explored that website or not, but it's just another resource to have in your pocket. So let's start off with this image here. A path with an unknown person. So that is the individual that you would be caring for, who is in recovery from a brain injury. And you can see that we've sort of gone down in the different stages, perceived changes to the person with the traumatic brain injury. And then from that, there are multiple branches. Associated changes, the caregiver's own role in their own life. So we talked a little bit about that already and discussed some of the different roles that you've now taken on and lots of changes that have been happening in your world. Then we've also talked about your feelings towards the person with the traumatic brain injury and toward your new role. We've talked a lot about exploring your thoughts and feelings around that. Then we've also talked about the perception about understanding the situation and how things have changed. So now we're getting into the coping strategies and navigating, your new situation, and then moving down into that foundation about having strong supports or crumbling foundations. Hopefully, from the end of this series, you won't be in that crumbling foundations piece. You'll be in some strong supports, gathering information, support and understanding about what's happening, and getting some resources. So I know we talk a lot about feelings, but really that is the backbone of the ways that we can move forward. And it's tough to talk about our feelings because some of them may not be what you really want to be feeling. So if we pay attention to our physical symptoms and our thoughts, and we can make small changes that can result in some big results. So we've talked a little bit about that as well, and we're going to move into the next session is going to be around compassion fatigue and some self-care strategies for you too. Taking some time to assess your situation and finding ways to make it better instead of just sort of sucking it up. That tends to be a little bit of an old school train of thought, sucking it up. We don't cry about things. That's a little bit passé. Paying attention to your own needs, and that's a common theme throughout this series, but I can't stress enough, guys, it's so important to take care of yourself and to take care of your own needs, because that just serves everyone better. Being at peace within yourself really is the priority. That doesn't necessarily mean, guys, that it's all sunshine and rainbows all the time, because it's just not. But certainly recognizing when you're out of harmony with yourself and figuring out why you're out of harmony will allow you to respond to yourself out of love and compassion. So this is a really great exercise strategy for having that look around you mindset. Did you ever notice that you purchase a new vehicle and it's a Honda Civic, a red Honda Civic, and now all of a sudden whenever you drive around you're seeing this red Honda Civic? Well, how you see the world when you're looking around you changes your attitudes and your thoughts and your actions. So this is a really good exercise for you to help you practice this strategy. So if you look around and find 3 things that have blue in them, just take a minute and look around and see if you can find things that have blue in them. What you might notice is that all of a sudden now your brain is being triggered to find the color blue, and all of a sudden you see blue everywhere. So I would say go ahead and list them. And then what happens when you're looking around and you focus on things to smile about? So you look over in the corner and you see a baby picture of your child and you smile. That's beautiful. It's positive. It creates this emotion inside of you that is really healthy and maybe brings you joy. So the next piece of this is to look around and find 3 things that make you feel. So it says, makes you feel positive, makes you feel like smiling, makes you feel warm inside, more alive. So if you have a paper and a pen, pencil, crayon, marker, whatever it is that you have around, go ahead and jot some of these things down. And what I would encourage you to do is, if you're looking around and you're not really seeing a lot of these positive things or things that make you smile or things that make you feel warm inside, perhaps it's time to change your environment a little bit. So have a child, whether it's your niece or your nephew or your grandchild or a neighbor's child, color a picture for you or draw something for you and then put it on the fridge. And every time you walk by, you know, you're going to smile and you're going to have that memory associated with that. So a lot of the times when we're doing a lot of work inside, we're doing a lot of self-reflecting, it's important for us to look around at our environment too. I would say, now this is just a guess, but you know, you're looking around and you're seeing the piles of laundry, or you're seeing the dirty dishes, or you're seeing this really long to-do list. And when you're looking around and you're seeing all of that, what does that do to you on the inside? There's a lot of feelings associated with that. So really going to challenge you to put some things around in your environment that make you feel good, warm inside, have those positive feelings that make you smile. Okay, so this is going to be habit 1. And, oh, sorry, just one second, everybody. Okay, technical difficulties. It happens, right? Habit 1 is to ask yourself, what do I need every day? And nothing is too trivial. Nothing is too small. I need an O. Henry bar. Hey, that's great. But it's about what you need for today. be specific. It doesn't have to be these big, grand ideas, like I need a miracle. But we're going to really focus in and hone in on that present moment, which we've been talking about through this whole series. Then once we describe or put down on paper what we need every day, this then becomes the precursor for developing our to-do list. The naming of what we need helps us make it happen, right? If we put it down on paper, then it's easier to organize our thoughts. It is de-stressful, but also there has to be a little bit of flexibility in there too, because we don't want your list to be so super long that it's overwhelming, because then that defeats the purpose, right? We want it to be something that is definitely achievable, and making sure that you are gentle with yourself and recognizing that every day is different. And so you may have the best of intentions for the next day, but hey, something happens and someone gets the stomach flu, and then all of a sudden you're, cleaning up vomit all day. Heaven forbid. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. But certainly sitting down and asking yourself, what do you need, is a crucial part to forming that list. So after you've had some time to think about what it is that you need, the next step, the next habit, is to write it down. So a good practice is every evening you're going to look to the next day and think about what it is that you need. Okay, I need to get a prescription refilled, or I need to take the dog to the vet, or whatever that is. Try to keep it as simple as possible. Really, as simple as possible. Limit the amount of things that you're looking to achieve every day. It's really nice to write these things down, because you can start each day with a fresh start, keeping in mind again that every day is different, and you have to be really gentle with yourself. Then once you've written them down and you have gone out and you've got the prescription, and then you tick it off your list, what that does to you physiologically is very positive. It has that sense of accomplishment, achieving something, concrete, allows you to then begin to move forward. It builds up your confidence. It allows you to know that you can achieve. Habit 3 is to delegate, and we have talked about this previously, and these are just really great strategies to use so that you can feel a little bit better about having all of these things that you have to do, because I would say that it's probably really overwhelming with the amount of things that you have to do. And by limiting the amount of things, like mount laundry can wait. I don't need to do the sheets again this week. Maybe I do the sheets every 2 weeks. We have to really let go of some things. So delegating, working on a list of people who can help you, friends, neighbors. I mean, also we have to keep in mind with what's happening right now with this pandemic. But now hopefully with the expanding of bubbles, it's going to make it a little bit easier for you. Even if someone can pick something up for you at the store and then leave it on your doorstep, there are ways that we can make it work. Look for easy to do things that take time away from more important work, and see who's available to step in and help. Asking, like having a plan about, okay, tomorrow I know that I need to do this, but I can't do it because I have to do this. So who can I call on to help me out with it? This is a good exercise. This is just another way to help you organize your thoughts and figure out who is in your world. So this center, I know it's a little bit dark. So this center circle here are people I see and talk to daily or several times a week. So they would be people who are directly impacting your day-to-day life. And list the names of people who are in that circle. Then the people I see or talk to often. Maybe it's not on a daily or several times a week, maybe it's every 2 weeks. And list those people in that circle. Then on the outer circle are the people I only see or talk to about once a month, or less. Put an X by the names of people who are not supportive. So people who just don't get it, who are, I would consider unhealthy for you, and leave them in that space. Perhaps you have people in that outer circle who are very healthy for you, or they are experiencing something similar to what you're experiencing. So you may want to move them in a little bit closer. Again, not to add stress by any means to what you're going through, but certainly having a plan to move people closer increases that center circle. Also, if you have any questions about any of these, please write them down and we can chat about them when they meet. I'm really looking forward to meeting you all. This is another exercise. It's always good to put things down on paper. Getting it out of our heads is really important for our own mental health, because there's a lot of stuff up in there and it can get pretty congested. So the more we can get out, the better. So on the lifesaver side, that's where you would put what you need. And under your needs, there's a whole list: physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, etc. So if you need professionally, I need some lifesavers. So professionally, underneath that umbrella need would be to get tasks completed, to help meet deadlines, to get a ride to work. Anything that you need that falls underneath that main umbrella professionally, write those down. It's on my left-hand side. And then on the other side, think about who can help you get that need met, the where, and the how. So really expand your mind. This is all about helping you delegate, right? This is all about helping you get your needs met. If there's one of these needs under the umbrella that speaks more heavily to you, perhaps it's spiritually. You haven't been able to connect for various reasons. So really explore into the who, the where, the how. And it's interesting once you break all of these needs down, because generally they get all lumped in together. But again, we've talked about roles before, and all of these needs fall into self, right? Habit 4, this one is key. Every shortcut available. Do we need to sit down and have a home-cooked meal every night where we're making casseroles and we're making, a roast chicken dinner or what have you? Now, with that being said, here's a little caveat, is if you actually enjoy preparing those kinds of meals, and if you're doing it with your partner, or if you are doing it with your children, and it creates this environment that's healthy for you, and that's something that you value, then by all means, go for it, right? But if dinner time is a little bit of a stress for you, you know what? Sometimes it's a grilled cheese sandwich and tomato soup with some carrot sticks on the side. And there is no guilt or shame attached to that. Almost homemade, store-bought salads. Hey, sometimes we just have to take these shortcuts. And the less stress you have, the more time, the easier to prepare. So if your house isn't always as perfect as it once perfect, now we know that no one is perfect and nothing is perfect, but if you're letting things slide, laundry, dishes, the yard work, like the typical stuff, if your priorities are in the right place, taking care of your needs and the needs of your immediate household, then you should be able to say that with pride, right? Again, going back to that circle of people who are in your circle and making sure that you identify individuals who get it. And you'll see in the next habit how we can help with that, because I'm sure you know that there are a lot of people who don't get it. And that can be really, really frustrating. So the reason these habits, pardon me, are associated with healthy relationships is the main thread is taking care of you and taking care of your needs. Because ultimately, going through all of these habits and simplifying life as much as you possibly can and organizing as much as you possibly can allows for more space to be with your loved one, to relearn, to interact with each other. Habit 5 is to ask other professionals about specific symptoms. Write things down, like, this is a new behavior that I'm noticing and I need some help to work through this. And if they don't have like a brochure or a pamphlet, someone may be able to create something for you. Again, using all of those resources that you have. This space, having people come together who get it, is a beautiful, beautiful thing. You'll be able to relate to each other. Oh, maybe that's why that's happening, right? Or, oh, you experienced that too. Learning about, accurate information about traumatic brain injury and understanding about it is very, very empowering, right? The more that you know about it really allows you to interact with it a little bit easier. The best way to do it is when you're at home and you're relaxed and you're in your own space. You can write down notes. It's easier to digest it when you're at home and when you're relaxed. You can pause a video, or you can use the internet and click on many different links, always making sure that the information that you are researching is accurate and reliable. Once you're armed with this really good information and a little understanding of what's happening, then it becomes important for you to educate others, you know? So for those people on the outer circle, or those people in the middle circle that have the X by their name that don't quite get it, maybe that's an opportunity for you to help educate them. And then maybe they come closer into that inner circle for you. So these are just 5 habits, excuse me, that I have found. One second, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. There we go. That maybe are helpful for you, and building those healthy relationships, having boundaries, knowing when to say no, knowing when to ask for help, the communication, you know, all of the things that we have talked about up until this point will all help with building healthy relationships. These are just 5 quick little habits that you could introduce. The exercises that I've put on, the Lifesaver one, and the how you see things mindset is also another great exercise, and one that you can share with other people too. That's it for this session, and we will see you again next week. Hopefully you're getting out and enjoying some time for you. As always, it's been a pleasure, and we will see you very soon.